Hello everyone and welcome back to Meeple Leaf Reviews. I'm Jeffrey.
I am Jacob.
And we're doing another before and after today, this time of Automania. What's a before and after, Jacob?
Before and after is where we talk about a game and our expectations before we've ever played it, and then we play the game, and immediately after we give you our first impressions.
So this is a bird's eye view, if you will, into what it feels like to have played the game for the first time.
Well, that's correct.
So Automania is one that I picked up because I like the theme. I picked up Kanban because also I like that theme, but that's a much heavier game.
Yeah.
So this is like a Kanban light.
Yeah.
So
I was about to say the same thing.
So I was like, okay, cool. I'd like to try it out. It seemed to be getting some good buzz around it, so I thought I'd pick it up.
Yeah. I heard some good buzz about it as well. It's a easy game to get into. And you're building cars on turn one,
right?
So it feels like you're actually doing stuff. Whereas a lot of heavier games, you're like, oh, okay, we need the parts, and then we need this, and then we need the workers, and then the mechanic, and then 5 turns in, oh, I'm building my first car, and it's garbage. This one, I feel like you're gonna dive right in, and you're gonna get this like high-powered, souped-up car right off the bat potentially.
Right. Now the game, after reading the rules and kind of having a look at it, I'm a little worried that it's going to be too light.
Okay.
That's kind of me going in. I hope there's enough here to keep me coming back.
Right.
I think the mechanisms are going to play well, but I just don't know how much meat. I think this is going to be a skinny chicken leg.
Yeah, I feel the same way. A lot of the actions seem extremely basic. You can do a little bit of blocking potentially, much like what was the other one? Oh dear,
some game
Quadropolis,
right.
Where you're going and you're putting it in a row or a column, and you're choosing something, but you can block someone else from going there, or they have to pay more to take that same slot.
Right.
So if you're paying attention to what other players are doing, then there's potential for that, but beyond that, it doesn't look like there's a lot going on to the game. I think it's something you might play with younger kids,
right?
More so than heavy gamers. But maybe you need that light game to introduce someone to gaming. So
could be a potential gateway game.
There you go.
All right, so that's my expectations. I think it's going to be good mechanically, but I'm just a little bit afraid that there isn't going to be a whole lot there to keep me coming back.
Yeah, I think I'm on a similar wavelength.
All right, so let's give it a play, and then we'll come back and tell you what we think of Automania.
All right, we'll see you in a second.
Welcome back, everyone. We just finished our first play of Automania, and man, I produced a lot of cars.
It was a maniac time.
A maniac time? You are mania. You are manic for cars.
Sure. That works.
Yeah, it was different than what I thought it was going to be.
There was a lot more going on than I thought. There was a couple interesting decisions.
Yeah.
That you had to make. I think I do see a similarity to Quadropolis, like I mentioned in the intro.
Right.
And just right off the bat, only playing both once, I would prefer this over Quadropolis.
Oh, really?
I think this is actually a better game.
Really? I would disagree. I think Quadropolis is a better game. But that's, again, I've played Quadropolis 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
This only the once.
Right.
But yeah, there were more interesting decisions in this than I thought. It had a cool catch-up mechanic. If it were, the person who's furthest behind gets to choose which demand tiles fall down.
Yeah.
Which could play a huge impact into how popular cars the other players could produce versus themselves.
Right.
So I felt that was a really good implemented catch-up mechanic, as well as just trying to meet all those demands to get up into the higher slots, and then how many cars you're able to sell.
Yeah.
You sell more cars, you're going later in the round, like that. So I think there is some interesting decisions to be made.
Yeah, I also liked how money was very tight in the game.
Oh, yeah.
At least for us in this particular game. It was tight, and I always find that very interesting when I'm just like penny pinching, trying to make my plays, and I'm just like, oh man, if I had an extra $1. And you can always use your workers on your turn instead of taking an action space to put them on the money slot and just generate you one income.
Right.
So you always have that option if you're just like, oh, I'm one shy from doing what I want. You can just spend one worker, get that $1, and now you can do it.
And same thing, you could spend your workers to make a car more popular.
Exactly.
To bump it up into the next level.
Tier of value, yeah.
So we played the game 2-player.
Yeah.
What do you think would be like scaling wise?
For 3 and 4 player?
Yeah, 3 and 4 player.
I don't know. It'd be really interesting. I guess you would probably take all the tiles off the board in a 3 and 4 player game, because I'd go here, someone would kick me out, which means I'm getting my worker back.
Right.
So you'd have all your workers for a longer period of time, I feel.
But then to go back to an area where someone had 2 workers,
right? You'd have to spend 3,
and
which
you only have 6.
Wouldn't get those back.
Yeah.
Unless someone was in dire straits.
No one's putting 4 on a.
Or there are tiles where you can get gray workers as well, neutral workers.
Right.
So if you had a ton of workers that way, maybe you would.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it would be like 2-player. There was a little bit of sending the workers home, but I definitely see in a 4-player game, you probably get a lot more of that sending the workers home, a lot more competition for the different slots.
Yeah.
I think it would be a better game with 4.
It could be.
But I'm not sure that the time, because we played a 2-player game in a little over an hour.
Right.
So with a 4-player, I don't know if that would become a 2-hour game. I don't know if I'd want to spend 2 hours playing this game.
Right.
I felt like it was fine for an hour. The second time I played it, I could definitely see it coming down a little bit, maybe in the 45-minute range, which is kind of the amount of time I'd want to spend playing this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to spend an hour and a half to 2 hours playing this game. There's something here. The mechanisms I find are really good. The decisions are clear but hard to maneuver how you want to get it done.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's enough there to keep me entertained for close to 2 hours.
Right. Yeah, I don't think so. I think 90 tops, and even that would be kind of pushing it. And I think we could cut down the time a lot. There was a little bit of AP. It was our learning game. Oh, I didn't know what to do and how to make the best play, so I was thinking about it a little bit. With more plays, everything would just kind of solidify, and I'd be able to just go pew, 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 put out guys. So I think you could knock it down, a 4-player game, into an hour 15.
Right.
I think that would be doable.
People were clipping along. But you get one person with AP.
Yeah.
And it's over with.
But that's with any game, right?
Yeah, that's the person problem, not the game. So, compared to my expectations for this game,
right?
I think I'd want to play this again.
Yeah.
I think it's good enough. It's light enough. I don't know how gateway it is. We had mentioned that it could be a gateway game.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that one.
There's a few little things, and there is, like, you can get really messed up if you don't line up your cars or your demand tiles right. I mean, you could just have a really bad turn.
But I think it is a gateway game. Yeah. I think it would be a great game, actually, for teaching a new player, introducing them to games, because there's lots of different mechanisms that are going along, and I think it's fairly simple. It's just making your plays efficient,
right? Which
is going to come with time.
Yeah.
No one's going to get that their first play unless it just clicks for them, right?
Right.
So yeah, I would say it's a entry level gateway style game. This is a game that I would probably even potentially pick up for my nieces and nephews, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not. Yeah. Again, I don't think it's too hard. I think there's a few little rules.
Yeah.
That could get, like, for example, when you produce a car, you got to remember, I could put workers out to get the money or to get stars to increase. The shipping one, when you go on the ship, you can't sell that car. It just gets you the points.
Right.
So there's just a few little things that don't have any real reminder. I think that's the thing, the graphic design. There isn't reminders necessarily on the board for it. But I think overall it was a good game.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of strategy there that you could implement with getting the employees and putting them and chaining off the employees, upgrading employees. You can go for multiple different types of cars, and throw, have versatility. Or I went like a route with just mainly doing sports vehicles as my main thing right off the bat and try and get them as high as possible to get the most bang for my buck early game.
Yeah, I think we played the intro variant where everyone's factory was the same. Playing the advanced might give it that much more juice to get it into the next level. Yeah,
there wasn't a lot going on with advanced, but there was some asymmetrical player powers, so it would give it, freshen it up.
Right. All right, well, that's Automania.
Yeah.
It's a lighter game, but I think, it's one worth checking out.
Yeah, it was interesting. I was pleasantly surprised by this one.
Cool. All right, well, don't forget to go down into the description down below and go to our board game links and give us some hearts.
Yeah.
And go to Twitter and follow us at MeepleLeaf.
You can give us some thumbs up on this video as well, and make sure you subscribe to us so you can get all our content.
All right, see you guys next time.
Take care.